Welcome to MyCounselor.Online. I'm Josh Spurlock, and in this video, we're talking about your marriage as your #1 priority after God. Nothing in your life is more influential over your quality of life and the quality of your family life than your marriage relationship. It's got to be first and foremost within your life if it's going to be successful. And that's got to be demonstrated in your actions. It's one thing to say to yourself that, yeah, of course my marriage and my spouse is most important to me, but does your schedule, does your budget, does your life actually demonstrate that? So you got to step back. You got to evaluate and ask the question and say, is that the case? And I know that may sound a little bit crazy to some folks. Say, well, what about the kids, right? Are the kids first in that? And the truth is that it's more important that you prioritize your spouse than it is even your kids. Because what your kids need most to be safe and secure and to grow up healthy is to have a mom and dad that are passionately in love with each other and can model for them what healthy relationship is supposed to look like. They're not going to get that in high school. They're not going to get that in college. If they don't get that from you, where are they going to get that from? They're not. They're going to go into marriage not knowing how to have a healthy relationship dynamic. And so even the kids need you to prioritize your spouse in your marriage. So people ask me, they say, well, I think that's true of me, Josh. It seems to be the case. I feel in my heart that my spouse is, most important, but how do I know? And I've got a quiz, a test within this article that will help you know. It asks you questions like, if you are with someone and your spouse calls, do you stop to answer the phone call because they're most important? When you're with your spouse and someone else calls, do you send it to voicemail rather than interrupt the time that you have with your spouse? Do you spend more time engaging and talking with your spouse than anyone else in your life? Do you spend more time engaging your spouse than TV or your phone? Real practical ways in which you can evaluate whether or not your spouse is actually your priority. When you look at your schedule, when you look at your budget, does it show a priority for date night and time with your spouse? Does it show a priority for getaways, vacations, times where you can just be lovers and friends and cultivate a healthy relationship? If not, you really need to ask yourself, am I really making my marriage the priority that I think that I am? And if not, you need to do something about that, because having adventures together, sharing life together is the necessary part of cultivating a healthy, connected, powerful relationship. And I recommend a minimum schedule that looks something like this: 15 to 20 minutes a day where we have our spouse's undivided attention. We can talk, dialogue, connect. And then an hour a week or so where we do a sync meeting, kind of a business meeting for our family, where we go over schedules, we go over upcoming decisions, so we can get on the same page about those practical logistical things, so we don't use our date time to go over those things. And then we need a date time, 2 to 4 hours a week or more, where we get away without the kids and we just hang out and enjoy each other's company and presence, have hobbies, activities, things that we can interact and do that we can mutually enjoy and have that overlap in interests in our life. And then at least quarterly, we need an overnight. Maybe that's a day, a full day together, a weekend together. Maybe it's a staycation where we're staying close to home so we don't have the budget to go out of town, or maybe it's on a beach somewhere during the dead of winter. And we are going away and just enjoying life, God's goodness in our life, and our relationship with each other. That keeps us fresh, connected, and able to enjoy our life. And to do all of this takes about 4% of your time. Now, it's like 344 hours a year out of the 8,000 plus hours a year that exist. And so it really is doable if you will make it your priority. That's what I've got for you today. Until next time, be blessed and keep loving life.